Hello 9th Age community and hello YouTube. This is Charles with Evershade Gaming and I'm bringing you another 9th Age battle report. This game happened last week and I am actually not playing this game. I actually got to watch this game, just take pictures and take notes. This game is between Trains Get Robbed, that's his tag on the forum, and Mooksy. Trains Get Robbed, Drewski is playing his Highborn Elves and Mooksy is playing his Infernal Dwarves. So for deployment, they're playing counter thrust. On the Highborn Elf side, there are 10 skirmishing white lions, a hero on a white lion chariot, 5 silver helms with a BSB mounted on a horse, a phoenix, and then there are 2 bolt throwers in that rune, and an eagle in the rune, and an eagle behind the rune. And then there's 25 spearmen, his Lord Prince on a white lion chariot, and that is his general behind the archer bunker. The archers have a wizard with 4 spells in there, and there is a phoenix behind them to the right, and 5 reavers in front. The wizard is using divination magic, and he pretty much got the 4 spells that are, like, he didn't get any of the damage spells in divination, which he felt was really unfortunate. But he has the signature spell, the skirting, the know the enemy spell, the 6 spell to slow down, you know, like the big blocks of characters, and then he has the reroll spell as well. That's the Highborn Elf deployment. Let's look at the Infernal Dwarf deployment. The Infernal Dwarves have 5 Kadim Incarnates, proxied by those Rageists. I'm not sure what they're called actually right now. Hobgoblin Bolt Thrower, and then 20 Hobgoblins. 36 warriors with Greatweapons. All 3 of his characters are in there. He has 3 Prophet with 4 spells of alchemy. The spells from alchemy are Silver Spear, Quicksilver Lash, Word of Iron, and Molten Copper, which are all really great spells from alchemy. An Overlord with the Onyx Hammer, 4 regen, 1 up armor save, push and swiftness build, and then a BSB with the Ring of Dessication, and a 2-up with 1 reroll. This is actually the same list my opponent played against me in my last battle report. This is Infernal Dwarf turn 1. I actually missed a picture of the rest of the deployment, but it's pretty clear that to the right of the big unit he had his Pain Train, his Infernal Engine, and these 6 Kadim Incarnates. And he kept one of his Wolf Riders back. He didn't vanguard them forward, just same pointer. So on Infernal Dwarf's turn 1, he moves up quite aggressively. He pushes that big block up 12 inches. He's not really too scared of those archers or spearmen. He chaffs those silver helms in the BSB with those Wolf Riders. He moves the Pain Train within 18 inches, I believe, to shoot at the hero on the lion chariot, and he also chaps those 10 skirmishing white lions with the wolf hero. So he's kind of already has the Highborn Elves kind of against the ropes here a little bit. You know, he's pushed them back pretty far. Since his counter thrust, I believe the Infernal Dwarves had a +1 to go, and he did win the first turn. This is the left side. It looks like he just kind of scoots the Incarnates up a little bit. He had them facing to the left originally when they deployed, so that the Reavers couldn't move that far forward to get behind them. So that's how the Incarnates look, and that's another kind of a better picture to see how close those warriors are. In the magic phase, the Infernal Dwarves get 6 dice, and the Highborn Elves have 3 dice. Mooks uses 2 dice to cast Quicksilver Lash on the Prince on the chariot, and Drew uses his shielding scroll, and he actually saves both wounds with it, which is pretty cool. And then 2 dice, Word of Iron goes just on the low level, goes on the block, and Drew actually failed to dispel it. I think he had 3 dice to 2, and he just rolled poorly. So then a 2 dice Molten Copper goes on the eagle, but it only does 1 wound. So a good magic phase for the Infernal Dwarves, but nothing too deadly. In the shooting phase, the Pain Train shoots at the hero, and it gets 4 hits. It only does 1 wound, and Drew saves it. The Highborn Elves save it. And then the Hobgoblins shoot at the archers. They get 10 hits, which is amazing, but they only do 3 wounds. So, an okay shooting phase. The bolt throwers miss. On Highborn Elf, turn 1. So, on the Highborn Elf, turn 1, the elves wanted to charge that main block. So, the spearmen, the phoenix, the archers, and then the lord all declare charges on that big block. They're in the middle. The archers fail, which is perfect. They only go 3 inches forward, which lets the prince get by. And they all make it into the big block, and this is how the combat will look. So, and then the BSB also charges out of the Silver Helms, and he charges into the Hobgoblin Raiders. This is a really blurry picture showing the BSB charging out. And this is a good picture of what the rest of the movement looks like. So he moves those white lines in front of those incarnates. He couldn't charge to the Wolf Rider. He kind of repositions his hero on the Wolf Chariot. He moves back those Silver Helms. And then he moves the Reavers on the right flank. And he moves up the Eagle a little bit to chaff later. And then he moves the Brown Eagle in front of the Pain Train. In the magic phase, it was only 3-2, and it just brought out the scroll, unfortunately. So in the shooting phase also did not fare well for very minimal damage. He might have just picked off some Wolf Riders, or probably just a couple guys here and there. So in the BSB combat, he has a great weapon, so he only does 2 wounds, and then the Wolf Riders stick, unfortunately. And then in this large combat, the Lord... the Champions Challenge and the Highborn Elf 1, I believe, just kind of maybe hits once or hits twice and just does a wound. And the Infernal Dwarf Champion kills the Highborn Elf Champion. The Prince on the Chariot targets the Infernal Dwarf BSB. He does 3 wounds, and the BSB fails 3 armor saves, but then with the 1 reroll passes 1 and stays alive. And then the warriors destroy a ton of spearmen. The Phoenix does 4 wounds, but then doesn't do any wounds with the Thunderstomp. Impact hits did some wounds, so about 11 dwarves are down, a bunch of spearmen are dead. When it's all said and done, the Highborn Elves lose by 3, but everything sticks, thankfully. So it ends up everyone stays there, and it's all like that. At the start of Infernal Dwarves turn 2, the Incarnates charge the White Lions. That will probably be a tough combat for the White Lions. The Incarnates charge the side of the General, which was an interesting move. I definitely didn't see this, actually, and I know the Highborn Elf player did not. But kind of interesting move. It actually is going to be sort of a mistake, unfortunately, because the Incarnates cause fear, and that's going to be really good for the Valiant rule that the General has. And this is how the rest of the turn looks like. So the Pain Train moves up again to shoot at the hero. And then pretty much the Hobgoblins have turned to shoot at things, the Eagle and the Reavers. And the other unit of Hobgoblins is now pretty much chaffing up, again, the BSB and the hero on the other White Lion Chariot. So, and the magic phase, it is, I think, 4-4. The Highborn Elf player channeled. The Infernal Dwarf player throws 4 dice at Word of Iron, the +2 Word of Iron, and it goes off. The Highborn Elf player just couldn't beat the dice roll. I don't even think it was like an average roll, and then it was just like a low roll. So that spell goes off, and in the shooting phase, these Hobgoblins do 2 wounds to this eagle and kill it, which is just a shame. And then the other unit of Hobgoblins shoot at the Reavers. They do 2 wounds, cause them to flee, and then these Reavers are positioned like that. And I believe the Pain Train shot again, and just didn't do anything. Either he just passed his saves, or he just kind of didn't really shoot very well. I think it might have even been at short range and it just did poorly. You know, got a low number of shots and it just didn't wound, or you know, yeah, I don't know. There's something funky about that shooting on that unit. It's always very wonky. You know, it's either really good or it's not really good. In combat, the White Lions actually hold fare pretty well. They pass their fear test, and I believe they do 6 wounds, maybe even 7 wounds actually, which is right about average. I think the Incarnates didn't pass a lot of saves, and then the Incarnates do 6 wounds back, which seems kind of low. I think he rolled pretty poorly on his hit dice, so it's like that. White Lions stick. The BSB finally kills those other Hobgoblins, and he is free to do things now. And then in the middle combat, the Phoenix. So I mean, I think the Lords end up getting a challenge, which again, it probably wasn't the best idea, but I believe no damage is on either side. The Spearmen are all dead. The Phoenix flees, but the Lord sticks because he's stubborn now, because the fear causing Incarnates. So that's unfortunate for the Overlord player. And then Highborn Elves turn 2. So the Phoenix actually goes into this combat, which is kind of funny because you have a Fireborn unit facing a Fireborn unit. So it's kind of going to be a big fire pillow fight for the Phoenix in that, but we'll see how long those White Lions stick around. The hero charges into the Hobgoblin riders who are chaffing, and then the BSV just kind of goes around those riders, and he charges that main block to try and get some more combat support in there to hopefully, you know, maybe break that unit. I mean, with those Lords stuck in a challenge, unfortunately the Highborn Elf Lord is in a pick. The Highborn Elf Lord only has a 4 regen, which is no good against the flaming attacks from the Overlord. So it's a little scary there, unfortunately, for the Highborn Elf Lord. But the Highborn Elf player has been making a lot of armor saves on that guy, which is great. In the shooting phase, I believe the only thing that happens is the Wolf Rider hero gets picked on and is killed. Other than that, not much happens. I was actually watching my friend roll the dice as shooting. It was just really bad. I mean, like, this Wolf Rider is 12 inches away, and he hits only 1 time, and he doesn't even wound or something like that with 1 bolt. So, I mean, between all the shooting, the Wolf hero is killed. And the magic phase, it's 8-4, but my opponent again has some bad luck here, and he only gets know that enemy off on the general, which that is good. It's going to help the general hit better because he was having such a hard time hitting with that guy the entire combat, just like, you know, missing on 3s and 4s to hit anything. In the combat over here, the White Lions do a few more wounds, and then the Phoenix sneaks through 2 wounds past the 2-up ward save, and I believe they take one or 2 more wounds from instability. So it's looking like that. And the BSB, or the hero on the White Lion chariot kills those Wolf Riders easily, and he misses the overrun by 1 inch, unfortunately. So he's sitting 1 inch away, and then this combat in the middle goes terribly for the high. The general prince on the White Lion chariot in the challenge with the Overlord, again, you know, hitting on 3s, he just only hits 1 time, doesn't even wound. It's honestly, it was just kind of sad to see just really poor rolls affect this combat. So, and the Overlord finally, like, just kind of gets past the armor save, and he multiplies and does like 5 wounds with his D3 wounds with his on. The BSB, I think, just did 2 wounds, and he actually ends up taking a wound. The BSB's got like a 2-up armor save. I can't remember the exact build. It's a little defensive, but it's not that defensive, unfortunately. So, and then when it's all said and done, the BSB runs away and gets caught, and then the big block goes into the eagles, or into that eagle right there. And then the Incarnates have reformed like that. So this is actually the end of game. On turn 3, the Incarnates charge the archers. They need like a 9 to stay on the board, and they go 12 inches and they go off. And at that point, my opponent just felt that it was over. You know, and to be honest, you know, he's got that 1 Phoenix left. That 1 Phoenix is probably gonna be stuck in the incarnate combat forever. And the Pain Train could just, you know, pick on that other hero, and eventually the Pain Train's going to get wounds through on that hero, you know. So this is the end of it. It's a 20-0 win for the Infernal Dwarves because the Highborn Elves forfeit at the end of the game. Kind of even, kind of swingy. You know, there are some good rolls on either side. It was really that last, you know, it was really the Prince on the White Lion chariot just kind of missing a lot of hits was pretty bad for the Highborn player. Yeah, and that was it. Although that Prince probably would have not been there as long as he was if those incarnates didn't give him stubborn for a round of combat. So, but that's the game. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.